Hey guys, welcome back to Claus Chronicles. I hope all of you are having a wonderful day today. Today we're going to be talking about tips and tricks for Pirate 101. Now, with me today is my friend Kieran from the last video. Say hello.
Hey guys.
So, we're going to be talking about tips and tricks for Pirate 101, as I have already mentioned. And I hope this will help the new players that are joining us, help them along the way. Because we all know it's extremely difficult in the beginning. We all went through it.
Yeah, especially for a lot of new players that come and you have no idea what the game is and how to play it. So I hope this is helpful for you guys. So get started.
All right, let's get started. All right, guys, the first one is companion training point saving. Now, when you get when you're starting off, you get a lot of companion training points, and Boachbeard tells you to use them. Don't do that because over time, one companion training point can give them 4 or 5 levels. So if you wait till level 10, you'll have over 30 points, and you'll only have to spend 5 on each companion to get them to level 10. Would you like to add something?
So basically what he's saying is like during the beginning when you first get to levels like 1 through 5 or 1 through 5, don't use your training points or companion training points at all because you can conserve them, and eventually once you get to about level 10, um well, first off, you always want your training points to be you always want your companions to be 2 levels behind you. So the best way to do that, and this is good for your full walkthrough, always have your companions 2 levels behind you. Behind your level at the time, because you can serve so many training points over time, and by the time you're max, you're gonna realize just how many leftover training points you have, especially if you're using just a select few of commands. So it's really good to keep in mind, like Claus said, it's really good to keep in mind how many training points you actually use, especially if you don't need them. So, so basically, you don't have to use any training points until level 10. You can keep your team, like your level 5 team, which will be your 2 level 5 campaigns that you get, and that's all you need really. So I hope this would be specifically helpful for people who are trying to learn how to conserve training points because they get really expensive over time. You agree?
Yeah, as you said, like at level 40,
Yeah.
each tome costs around 5,000. So, and that's expensive.
Yeah.
That's really expensive. At max, they cost over 11,000. So
Yeah, I
it's
think it's 9,000, something like that. Yeah, it's really expensive.
yeah. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, guys, our next tip is very simple. It's companion orders. Now, if you go into your companion list, you'll notice that there is a new order button right here. You click on new orders, you get a list of this. Now, for low level players, I recommend doing sailing because nautical XP is the hardest to get when you are low level. Because unless you want
Yeah,
to,
not a whole lot.
unless you want
I'm
to,
sorry.
unless you want to go out in the skyway and farm ships for an hour or more, I recommend doing this as soon as your companions get to level 8 and above, because that's only when you can do it. Also, keel hauling. If you, as we mentioned before, you're going to be conserving points, but if you don't have 10 points or more, I recommend doing keel hauling for the companions that are above your level or at your level, so you can get
Yeah,
more
I agree.
points. Yeah. And the last one to do that I recommend is pet wrangling, but um this is only if you can't do keel hauling or sailing because your nautical level is already the same as your level and you can't do it anymore. So the next one I recommend is pet wrangling because plundering and scavenging don't give you that good of things, but pet wrangling can sometimes give you great things. I think plundering only gives you like 20 to 100 gold at a time when you're low level,
Yeah, it's not worth it.
it's not worth it. You're better off just selling all the gear you get from questing. All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
All right.
All right, guys. Our next one is script. And Kieran, do you want to explain this one?
Yeah, sure. So, script is actually another currency, and yeah, I guess you can show some of the stuff that's around here. So yeah, it's a different type of currency in the game, and it allows you to buy, a few featured items. And I'm sure Claus is showing some of them now, some of the items that you're able to obtain. And script is not that hard to obtain in the first place. A lot of the key bosses in Scrimshaw drop tons of script at once, maybe 100 to 200 sometimes. It varies depending on what type of battle you're doing. So yeah, script is it's not really that that important, but you can buy a bunch of PvP items. I know that you can get script from doing ranked PvP, which isn't that popular anymore, but I think it kind of is now, or it will soon will be. So script is just used to buy a very featured limited items that you can't farm for. So I definitely recommend, if you have a few leftover script for maybe doing some key bosses or things, you can come and check out here. It's in the bazaar. It's in through this door and things like that. Claus and I probably make a different video talking about different locations you can go. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it about script.
All right, guys, let's move on to the next one. All right, guys, our next one is Bazaar Gear. Now, when you're low level, you're not going to have many good pieces of gear, so you'll want to come here around every 5 levels that you level up and just scroll
Yeah,
through the bazaar, see what you can find. So, strength is for buccaneers, will is for witch doctors and privateers, and agility is for swashbucklers and musketeers. And you'll want to look at what it is, see, because this one is slashy stabby. That's good for um swashbucklers. This one is slashy. That's good for buccaneers, but it's strength based. So there are a lot of different stuff in the bazaar you can
yes,
get. Do you want to say
yeah. It
something?
just basically varies. Yeah, it just basically varies on how you want your setup to be, and you can make really different setups. But pay attention to the icons, like the usable icon. Definitely, that's important. That lets you gives you access to everything that you're able to access in the bazaar. So, yeah, the bazaar is not that hard to do. Make sure that you're conserving as much gold as you can while you're questing, and you should be good. And every 5 levels, make sure to come here and upgrade your gear. It's really important.
Yes, you'll want to upgrade um your other pieces of gear as well, such as your rings, your charms, and your totems as well. Just so you can have more
Yeah,
better stats. All right, let's move on to the
yeah,
next one. All right, guys, our next one is ship equipment. Now, you'll want to look at the origin for the ship equipment, because if you buy the wrong origin, you're not going to be able to use it. So, or this one is origin any, nautical level any, so you can just buy this when you have enough gold. You can put it on any ship you want. Um, but it's also important to look around at because you want to see what they have. Some of them have different stuff, and some of them are better than others. So you want to go look around. Just go looking in the bazaar as well, because sometimes they have good stuff as well, just under ship equipment. So
yeah. They have really good stuff in the.
yeah, sometimes you'll get lucky and find something really good there, just at a low level. So yeah, let's go on to the next one. All right, guys, for our last tip, we're gonna talk about pets. And Kieran, do you want to say? Do you want to
Yeah.
talk about it?
So basically pets. Yeah, basically it's really important to keep in mind that you're gonna get a lot of pets while questing. Sometimes you get really lucky with rare ones. Please never spend your money on crowns to buy pets from the crown shop. It's not worth it at all. But if you do get a pet, it's really easy to train a pet. So if you show like the pet inventory, it's very easy to keep in mind of that and things. So make sure you just train your pet. You can buy pet snacks from Bestia. There's a quest for Bestia given by the man by the Pelican guy in front of Avery's office. It's called, I forgot what it's called, but yeah, it's very important to keep in track of what your pets are. So, and things like that. And once you get max level, you'll be able to hatch with people and things like that.